All right, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another coffee Q&A here on the onocoffee channel. The coffee Q&A is your daily dose of coffee Q&A, most Monday through Fridays, 10 a.m. Eastern. How's it going? So what's happening? How y'all doing today? Welcome back to the show. So today I've got some things we wanted to share with you because sometimes I muck things up, and somehow I muck things up pretty badly. Well, not pretty badly, but pretty heavily. Like every Christmas time, we normally have this coffee that's called the Naughty and Nice collection. And it's this coffee, one coffee done two different ways. And somehow one of the orders for a woman just got, I don't even know how we lost track of it, but we lost track of it. And I just noticed it the other day, and I was like, oh my gosh, we have totally not fulfilled this. And I think she sent it in like December 10th. And I was like, oh my gosh, let me go and reach out to her and say, hey, I'm really sorry that we mucked this up. Would you like me to still make the coffee for you? Or, you know, what can we do to make things, to make amends? And she was like, you know, you have that coffee, the Irish coffee. And I was like, oh, all right. And this is something that so this is what's called the Phoenix El Feliz, right? And this is a coffee that we make normally during St. Patrick's Day, where we infuse Teeling whiskey into the coffee. And, you know, it just kind of gives that flavor of the coffee, of the whiskey. And so I was like, okay, well, absolutely. We'll take care of that for you. So I made a batch of it the other day, and I grabbed a little bit. I made a little bit extra because I only made enough for her order, and sent it off to her. So hopefully she'll get it. Hopefully she'll enjoy it. Catherine, if you're watching, my apologies still. But we're going to give it a taste and see what it's like. And then we also have Charles Mintry. What's going on, man? Mom, good to see you. Kent, good morning. From where can I order your coffee? Go to a place called Spro Coffee, SPRO coffee.com. There's a link in the description if you want to link to it directly. So you don't have to like think about, what did he say? Did he say SPRO? Yeah, so it's right down there. Maku, good morning. And Naomi, good morning to you as well. So we've got a couple, so we got this, and then you guys know that I've been doing this woodworking thing, and like Omniel was like, hey man, you should consider doing like tamping stations. And I was like, what? Tamping stations? I don't use that kind of thing. That's just stupid. I'm not going to do that. But he was like, you know, you should think about it, man. It might be kind of good. You might become something interesting. I was like, I don't know if I can come up with anything interesting because, you know, there's a lot of like stuff out there already. So, but I was like, all right, fine. So I started looking, and I kind of have this. This is just kind of like something I threw together last night. I was in the workshop last night, and I was thinking, what might be important for things. So I kind of have this little setup here. And we'll go through that more in a little bit, but I have this knockbox here. This is the knockbox that was made for me by Reg Barber many, many years ago. We used it at Spro. This was actually Spro's, the Hamden shop's knockbox, and it's always been one of my favorite knockboxes. But it's really simple. But we'll get into that more in a little bit. But first, let's get into the coffee, because you know we have to have coffee to drink while we babble on about whatever we're babbling on. So we've got this coffee. This particular coffee is a Colombian coffee. It's a Colombia from Huila, wash process. And kind of medium roast, kind of like similar to our single origin style, you know, more of like a medium roast, right? Kind of how we do our house. Is the coffee boozy? The coffee should not normally be boozy. How we normally process this coffee is, and actually if you go to the Spro Coffee channel here on YouTube, you can actually, there's a video there, I should put a link, I'll try to remember to put a link to that in the descriptions after the live stream, because I forgot to put it before, but basically there is a video on the Spro Coffee channel that shows how we make this. And what we do is basically we roast the coffee normally, and then we spritz it, shower it with the Teeling whiskey after as it's coming out of the roaster. it's part of the cooling. We use it as kind of a cooling process, but we also use it when it's hot, so it evaporates as much as possible, so we burn off as much of the alcohol. And sometimes it does ignite, which is not really a problem because you're not really, it's like when you're flambeing something, it just fires until it burns off the alcohol. And in some ways that's better. But the nice thing in this video is that when we were shooting the video, it did flambe. So it's kind of like visually, like you're like, oh, that's kind of cool. So that's the general way of doing it. Now, in this particular case, it's a little bit different in that this coffee that I used for her order was actually part of a larger batch. So I couldn't just like douse the entire batch. Otherwise, we would have so much more than we would need, especially this far out of St. Patrick's Day. So I just did a small batch and kind of infused it. That's actually going to have, I suspect we're going to find out, but I suspect it's going to have a little bit of booziness to it. So you get the essence, but no alcohol. Yes, exactly. Okay, so let's have a look. But we'll see here. It is, a little bit more on the medium side. That way we get a little bit more development out of it. And I think, especially if you're going to take it and you mix it, and you want to make it like you make Irish coffee with a little bit of cream, I think it stands up a little bit better that way. So let us do some measuring. Make sure that the water is getting to our boil. Can you spritz with bourbon? You can spritz with whatever you want. There's no hold. There's no rules. There's no rules against this. No rules. All right, so you've got our fellow Tally Pro. And we're going to do our normal 24 grams. There we go, 24.1. Nice. Nice. And so what we're going to be using today, we're going to use Peter's favorite, the Hario Switch, with some Hario paper filters. And then now we need the Ode Gen 2 to do our grinding. So we're going to go pretty coarse. We're going to go all the way out to, like, let's say, let's go to 9. We're going to go to 9 on the Ode. Naomi says that I can count on one hand the different alcohols I like. Bourbon is one. Oh yeah, that's, it's just it's a matter of finding a balance between the coffee that you want, the alcohol you like that you want to try, and then the coffee that you're using, right? And yeah, so the idea behind this coffee is that it's going to give you the flavor of Irish whiskey, and it's not like a super pronounced flavor. It's not like heavy. It's going to be really kind of subtle. And then, yeah, not bad. Okay, let us grind. Time for the grind-o-matic. Naomi says, I just bought the Switch. Nice to see you. Yeah, the Switch is a nice little grind brewer. See that. They put this little logo here. It's kind of like they were like anticipating it appearing on the live stream. Okay, so we've got that. Now we're going to take we're going to need our Chinese knockoff of the Hario kettle. And then we get our switch. Now, when you're using the switch, remember the switch has this ball valve, right? You can see the ball valve down there, and it's controlled by this lever, right? And so the lever, like right now, the lever is kind of up, right? Not down. You want it up so that this is removed from the ball. Because when you push this down, it pushes this up, which pulls the ball up and opens the valve. So as you can see, the ball is rolling now. If I close it, it doesn't roll, and the force, the weight of the water holds the valve closed. So you want to make sure you do that. And then we want to get our filter. I've got the Hario V60 coffee paper filters. This is the, I don't know, the really hardcore guys that really pay heavy attention to this, they can look at these filters and they'll know, oh, this is the good one from this one factory or this one run. I don't know that. But we're going to take the filter out. It does say V60 stamped here. That's kind of cool. And then I like to fold over the seam. That way I like the filter to sit flat. And then now we've got our cone there. Good. Oh, you know what we need to do? Oh, we already have it ground. I already have it ground. Dev says, have you tried Tetsu's Devil Brew with the switch? No, give me a run through on that, Dev. We will try. Give us a run, give it a try. Why not? Or maybe I can look it up. Let's see. Tetsu's. Hey Siri, what is Tetsu's Devil Brew with the Hario switch? Tetsu Kasuya, 2016 World Brewers Cup champion, is well known for his 4-6 brewing method and has done it again. This is from something from Siri. Oh, wait. Okay, it went away. All right, let's see. Tetsu Kasuya Devil. Oh, here's a guy on Reddit. Says here, Tetsu Kasuya's Devil recipe has created some of the best cups I've ever had. Oh my. That is quite a superlative. Outpost Coffee. Oh, here, Outpost Coffee. June 25th, 2024. Okay, let's see. Oh, look at this one. Here it is. Tetsu Kasuya's switch recipe for perfect coffee. Okay, let's try that. Let's try it. Tetsu Kasuya, 2016 World Brewers Cup champion, is well known for his 4-6 brewing method and has done it again. This time, he has developed what he calls the Devil's recipe for the Hario switch. This brewing method is designed to bring out the best qualities in single origin coffee and is becoming increasingly popular among coffee enthusiasts around the world. Ooh, okay, 20 grams of coffee. Slightly finer pour over grind. Oh, well, we're going to have to go back again. All right, let's try. Okay, 20 grams of coffee. We're going to go back. We're going to try. Will Tetsu Kasuya actually convert us to this belief of better coffee? Let's try. Okay, we got the switch. 20 grams. Let's go back to here. 20 grams. Oh, I can just pour for 20 grams, right? But it's the wrong grinding, right? The wrong grinding. So 20 grams. Good thing I have a little bit more than 24 grams available. I guess if we're doing Tetsu stuff, we got to be like sharp. 20.1 grams. Okay. I'll put this coffee somewhere else. Maybe I'll use this for tonight's live stream. By the way, if you're not busy, 8 p.m. Eastern time tonight, we have the Coffee and Cigars live stream that we do for the Thursday night hang. We do that every Thursday night, 8 p.m. Okay, so we've got this 20 grams of coffee here. And it said, what did it say? It says here we need to have slightly finer pour over grind. So slightly finer pour over grind. So we're using let's say we're using 5, just under 6. We're going to go all the way to just 5. We're going to go to 5 on this fellow Ode Gen 2. Right, there it is. Okay, we got that. Good. Okay, we got slightly finer grind. We're going to need 90 to 95 Water, that's easy enough. 280 grams of water. Okay, so we're gonna see here. The recipe says here, rinse the switch and filter with hot water. Rinse the switch with hot water, discard the water. Okay, we're gonna try that. We're gonna try that. Even though I think that's a waste of resources, we will try it just because we want to give them the full benefit of the doubt. And I do have my doubts about this. The rinsing part, not necessarily the brewing part. Okay, switch is in the top. Okay, so we're going to add, we're going to use the, well, I guess we'll use the brew assist to assist us, right? Brew assist. Okay, so we're doing, oh, I don't even know how to make that work. Anyway, with this, we're going to add, okay, we'll tear that. We're going to add our 20 grams of coffee to the filter. And the directions say to shake it gently to flatten the bed. That's not so gently, but you know what? We're a little bit brute of force here. All right, the water is nicely rolling, boiling. So I'm going to let it sit there for a moment, and then I'm going to get our kettle. So 90 to 95 is roughly 204. And I think by transferring to the colder kettle, we're going to leave the top off for a few moments here. That should bring us right down to that water temperature. We found in the past that if we're starting at 204 water temperature, we're actually finding that the water inside the actual brew is right about just under 190 degrees. Okay, so that should be good. Now we need to pour, okay, so we're going to timer, set that here. So we reset the timer. Now it says pour 60 grams of water over the coffee, making sure to wet all the grounds evenly. Open the switch and let it drain for 30 seconds. Oh. So I'm going to presume that means that we have the switch is closed, right? As you can see here, switch is closed. We're going to pour it and then pour 60, oh gosh, it has reset. Stop that. Oh, whatever. Oh, God. Oh, come on. Well, whatever, okay. Okay, now we're ready. Okay, now we're going to pour 30 and wait 30 seconds, right? So 60 grams, 60. And now open the valve. Wait. Open the switch and let drain for 30 seconds. Open the switch and let drain for 30 seconds. Now that I open the switch, it's most of that 60 grams is gone already. Pour another 60 grams of water over the coffee. Again, make sure to wet all the grounds evenly. Let it drain for 45 seconds. So I guess we have to close the valve. They need to be a little bit more, if I'm presuming, because they say let it drain again, that they mean that they're doing it this way. So we're adding to total 120 grams. Gosh, I feel like that's a lot more than it was the last time. 120, and then now, open that up, 45 seconds. Add more water to the kettle to decrease the temperature to 70 Celsius. What? Add more water to the kettle to decrease the temperature to 70 Celsius and close the switch. Oh, it should have been open the whole time? Why are we even doing this? Anyway, you basically do a pour over. You'd have a finer than pour over, and then you're doing a pour over. Okay. Add more water to the kettle to decrease the temperature and close the switch. You didn't say to leave the switch open. Add more water to decrease the temperature to 7 degrees. Oh, to the kettle. Okay, add 160 grams to the 70 C water. What? 160 grams to the 70 C water. Why are we adding the grams to the water? That doesn't make any sense. So we got a 280 grams where we're going. Okay, 280. Steep for 30 seconds, then open the switch again. See, you're not being very like, they're not being very like, I think you need to be, if you're talking about opening and closing the valves, you need to be a lot more precise with your wording. Actually makes me irritated. All right, open the valve. Let the drawdown occur. Aim for a grind size that allows the whole process to take 3. What the hell are you talking about? Aim for a grind size that allows the whole. This is something you should be putting at the beginning of the directions. And like you say that go finer than slightly finer pour over, and then now you're saying that's so. All right, these directions suck. Whoever wrote this, you need to sit down and like think your process through and be more thorough. Dave says, heads up, you're going to need a second kettle of cooler water for your other pour. See, here's the thing I wonder, like if we're talking, hey Siri, what is 70 degrees Celsius in Fahrenheit? Wow, 44.6. No, so what is 70 Celsius in Fahrenheit? 112. Okay, 112. Switch needs to be open. All right, all right, so we're way past this 3-minute mark here. All right, well, we'll try, we'll see how it tastes. Let's see, Dev, how it tastes. Is this good? Is this a good coffee? Is it a good recipe? I don't know. We'll get our cup here and let's have a look at our elixir. Seems definitely, the elixir seems a little bit darker than other coffees we've had. I think that's more because of the roast profile. There's a nice coffee smell. It's a little bit, there's a little bit of hints of the Teelings. Oh, there's definitely some Teelings. That's nice. There's good body. Like it's a little bit more robust coffee. Like I took it a little bit longer just because I want a little more robustness, right? Which is good because it stands up to the Teelings well. It helps to balance it out. There's a little bit of bitterness to offset the Teelings. And actually, we should find out just how well it balances it out by getting real Teelings to see. This is Teelings. I decided years ago to go with Teelings. We used to use Jameson for this when we first started doing it, but then I tasted Teelings and I was like, oh, I really like the flavor of Teelings. Peter says, hello, American people. Hello, Peter. How are you? Are you in Antarctica this week? Doing some more. We were talking about you. We were talking about yesterday. Naomi says he actually came out with a new recipe a few days ago, I think, for a sweeter brew. Has anyone? I have not seen it. I have not seen it, but let's see here. Here's a Teelings. So Teelings and Teelings. Right. The original and the imposter. Right. All right. All right. So how does it compare? Sonja? Okay, don't do that. Too much into coffee mode. Like the last thing you want to do is like slurp your whiskey and it shoots to the back of your throat like it did there. Oh, but that's the Teelings, I think, really has lovely flavor. And here's something, like we talk about slurping for tasting coffee, right? I read a white paper quite a few years, about 4 or 5 years ago, talking about how to properly taste liquors, whiskeys, alcohols, things like that, like the ones that are spirits. And you know, we have this hope that most people talk about, you want to put in a snifter and do all this stuff with it. But they were like, the paper was like, this is not the good way to really get the flavors. What you want to do is you want to take the liquid into your mouth without oxidizing it. You want to hold it in your mouth. And it is starting to snow again. Whoa. Anyway, you want to take it in your mouth and you want to hold it without adding any air. Because you know how you get the sizzle, the burn? Like you want to reduce it. So you want to hold it in your mouth, coating your palate, and then you swallow it. And then you open your mouth, and then you get this more, the whole bouquet of the spirit. So we're going to try that. Gosh, that is nice. If you've never had it, you should try it. Actually, you probably shouldn't try it. Don't drink alcohol. It's really bad for you. Peter says, I have to rewatch that episode where you gossip about me publicly. That's most episodes, I think, now. Because we're always thinking about you, Peter, especially when we talk about the switch. It's like Peter and the switch are like synonymous now here. Anton's with us. What's going on, Anton? How are you? We're drinking boozy coffee today. We're drinking boozy coffee and booze. Anton says, today my colleague was showing me a latte art championship video, and guess what was the first thing I spotted in the video? Ah, the switch. Oh, nice. Oh, nice. Latte art championship video. That sounds cool. Oh, my gosh. All right, so if you're going to try this switch recipe, the one from Tetsukasuya, you want to, don't do like I did and, you know, kind of do it by the, kind of wing it along with the directions. Read through the directions. Evidently, from what Dev is saying, that we have to leave the switch open, which I think should be, you know, you have to leave it closed, not open, closed, so that you can do the process. Which I think that if you're going to write directions, it would be helpful if you would tell that up front. And, you know, or at least, you know, make it say that, you know, leave the switch open. Like if I was writing, I'd be like, leave the switch open, and then we would then proceed. Okay, so maybe we should. Naomi says, you want to read it through? I'm a guy. We don't do that kind of thing. We just plow forward. But what we're going to do is we're going to hold on to this. Let's try it again. So what we need is to make 112 degree water. Now, if we don't have, oh, I was going to say if we don't have a thermometer, but I recently uncovered a box from my Hawaii days, a kitchen box that had this thermometer in it, and I was like, I never used it. Look at this. This is an old Cuisinart thermometer, and right now it's reading just over 60 degrees, which is pretty accurate for my space right now. So what we're going to do is we need 112 degrees, right? Where is this water now? This water is oh, that water is way hot, 112 degrees. Okay, so we're going to add all right, what we're going to do is I'm going to put that in here. Okay, Tetsu, tell us how you're supposed to hold this water at 112. Are you putting it in some kind of container? All right, right now the water is at 100. just under 150 degrees. I'm going to bring this down to 130, and that should give us a pretty good range. I got to tell you, this better be like some of the most amazing coffee I've ever had in my life for this kind of craziness. Okay, there is that. How about 130 degrees? We're going to get that ready. I'm going to now boil some more water. Okay, we got water boiling, or on the way to boiling. We have this coffee here, Teeling's over here, Hario switch there. And the first thing I spotted in the Latte Art Championship was you. Walking behind the baristas menacingly. Well, that's what I do. That's what I do. We have to let let the judges know that they are, or they have to let the competitors know they are being judged. We are watching over them, and we are going to give them poor scores, no matter what they do. That's what we're going to do. That's our role. That's our role. Oh, I wonder which Latte Art Championship was this? Naomi says, you want to read it before brew? We will. Okay, I think we read it more. Okay, so then Peter says, do a pour over with heated whiskey instead of water. Oh, that could be interesting. We might try that too. Anton, how do I find this? I don't know what they're going to do. Dev says, Zero adds 60 grams of hot water at 10 seconds. Oh, for 0 to 10 seconds, add the 60 grams. Wait 30 seconds, add up to 120 grams of hot water. And then at 40 seconds, add hot water to the kettle in order to bring down cold water to the kettle in order to bring the temperature down to about 70 C, 158. I thought 70 C was 112. That's what Siri said. Siri. 70 Celsius in Fahrenheit. Oh, you're right, 158 degrees. 158 degrees. Now I've just totally mucked that up. We're going to have to readjust this now. Yeah, see, now we're below 140. All right, we will add. How are you supposed to do that on the fly? Like, you're going to add water to your kettle, to your boiling kettle to do this? I think that's irritating. It's like, oh, that's irritating. But we remain undaunted here on the coffee Q&A. Timer, wait, 0. Whoops. $18, $17. Come on, baby. We still have. Dev says, when I do it, I have 2 kettles. Smart. 20 grams, right? 20 grams. 20.1. Good. Okay, our water is boiling. I'm going to grind back again. So we're going to use the same grind to do our test. Whoa. I probably should have had breakfast this morning. And turn this on. Let us go to our action camera. Dev continues to say 1 minute 30, wait, 145, open switch, wait for the complete drawdown. Okay. And Anton says, Jackie Chang, GG Coffee Malaysia Latte Art Championship 2023 final round. Oh yeah, I was the judge for that one. That was my last judging gig. That was a year ago. That was good times. Nice baristas out there in Malaysia. Okay, we need our other brewing chalice here. Brewing chalice. Hario switch. Okay, we gotta open it. So open it. And filter paper. Oh, and we need to rinse, right? We need to rinse this sucker. So should I fold it over? I will fold it over. Try to recreate everything we did the last time. So boily water. Whoa. See, I'm not always just telling you stories that are not true about things in coffee. It reminds me of a friend of mine, he's an actor, and he's always telling me these stories, and I'm like, dude, I've known you since we were children. Like, what are you talking about? Did you really do that? I was like, come on, man. I don't remember seeing you on that television show. I don't know why he feels like that. Like, okay, so here's our stuff. Now we need to shake, right? Oh, I have to shake. The rule said the thing said shake gently. Okay, so even it out, and then we need to check our water here. So our water temperature now is so it's pretty cool at the moment. So I'm going to take it and I'm going to add a little bit of water to it. Right, add a little bit of water. That brings us to 260. That would be good. Come on. I'm going to have like 2 liters of like hot water here. Not enough water to brew the... Oh, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put it back, put some of it back in. Oh yeah, I got to get rid of this water. Oh, I guess I did that. Okay, now... Come on, baby, don't disappoint. Still need more, son of a gun. These are the moments that I miss my instant read digital thermometers from ThermoWorks. You gotta be kidding me. All right, we're gonna use this as our cooling water so we don't have to worry so much about it. All right, now, Dev says add 60 grams. Okay, so I'm gonna take the water out of the boiling kettle. I'm gonna put it in here. Was there a specified temperature to begin? The water here is, what is the water temperature? The water temperature now is, come on. Just under 200. Cover it up. And then let us begin tearing it out. We're just going to go straight to the... Oh, I guess we should time it. Let's go to the brew assist. And then now we brew. 60 grams, right? 60 grams. 60 grams hot water till 10 seconds. Wait 30 seconds. And then we add another 60 grams to a total of 120. Right. Gotcha. 30 seconds coming up. Now here comes our second 60 grams. $121. Okay, so now we have to add now we have to add the water to the hot kettle to bring the temperature down to whatever the temperature. We did 150 degrees. So right now the temperature of the kettle is at 100. I'm going to go with cold water now. 180, 190. Okay, we've reversed that flow. 170. Come on, Daddy, hurry up. Okay, that's roughly 158. Now we're going to go, what? 158. Want to close the switch and add up to 280 grams of water. Add up to 280. So 280 is the total amount of water for the whole brew, right? I mean, we're way past the total brew of 180, of 280, but well. Oh, happy copy. Tell Tim I said hello there, Kent. 280. Deb says, but I do have two kettles. Understood. That would make it a lot easier. Naomi says, if you have the stag with temperature control, it can easily be done. Just saying. How are you going to I don't think that stag will dive the temperature. That's the only thing. It's like the diving of the temperature. That's I think the more tricky part. And to control that, right? Okay. Oh, I guess we're done. So let's open that up now. We're supposed to be done by 3 minutes. So we're at 334, 335. Oh yeah, 1 minute 30, wait. 145, open the switch and wait for the complete. Oh, I see what you're saying. You have two kettles. You're preparing like two stags or whatever at set temperatures. That's a lot of. So do you notice, Dev, at that with this style of brewing, this recipe of brewing, does it produce a superior cup for you? Okay, let's see here. We have it draw down. Draw down is complete. And we're going to get our other glass here, different glass. Maybe we should put them in the same glass so that they're more similar than different. Okay, let's see here. Let's have a taste of this first one. Sweet. There is a difference. There is a difference. Definitely a difference. So like this definitely has greater sweetness, where this has more pronounced bitterness. Interesting, interesting. Now, of course, the first brew is pretty cold by this point, but there is definitely a difference. Definitely sweeter, a little more. The expression is different, a little more fun, naturally. All right, I'll say that's pretty darn good. That's a pretty nice way to brew. A lot of work, but a pretty nice result there. Dev says, in my opinion, it does produce a great cup, but I definitely don't use this method every day. Well, yeah, it's a lot of work. It's actually not. I'm saying it's a lot of work. That's not for me. That's not a fair statement to say. Mainly because like my first time doing it, we're kind of doing it on the fly. But if you understand how to do it and you practice it, or you do it a few times, like this would be, and you're prepared, it should be fairly simple to execute. But you know, if you're prepared to balance your water temperatures and have that prepared in some manner, I think it'll be actually, yeah, that's really pretty. All right, Tetsu, nice work. Whoever wrote those first directions, decent enough work, but could be better. This cup, though, is actually... Thanks, Dan, for that great suggestion. I'm going to put this to the side here. I will be enjoying this coffee for a little while longer. Asian says that's a lot of Nalgene. Yeah, I've got a few Nalgenes here. The two Nalgenes here are really what we used to use these Nalgenes, as you can see. You might be able to see it here. These came from the shop, but like we used to keep some vanilla syrup in here. And actually, we used this for the last batch of syrup that we made on July 9th, 2021. But you know, I like the Nalgene. You know, I'm kind of outdoorsy, right? Crunchy, granola-ish kind of guy. Anton says, to be honest, I like my switch recipe more. Ah, okay. We'll have to try that one time. All right, so one of the things I wanted to, there's a little more. God, I'm too much into coffee mode. So something I wanted to run by you guys, because I know you guys are enthusiasts at home, and I would like to ask for your thoughts and feedback on this. Omnia was kind of like encouraging me to make some kind of like tamping stand or something for coffee. And I'm trying to come up with some ideas. Stylistically, I have some pretty strong ideas, but actually the way it works, I don't know, like if you were to think about getting something like this, what would you need? Like, what would you be interested? So here we have, it's just a simple stand, right? It's actually not assembled. I just cut assembled the pieces yesterday, and this is done on 3/4 inch plywood, just as a mock-up, right? So just kind of like to get an idea of the form. But I was thinking a lot of people like rakes, so maybe if you're we move from left to right, you can rake your coffee, right? And then you distribute your coffee, and then you tamp your coffee, right? I don't know. Does this even like? And then there's a place here for you to like rest your portafilter. And now that I see it here, like on the countertop, it probably has to be taller, because like if I like to rest my portafilters on here, and if I've got a spout, it's too high. That's okay, right? That's okay, because the spout's clear. But on 3/4, or for those of you in other parts of the world, 18 millimeter, that is not working out. But I don't know what you guys really what is needed? Like, what do people need? Like, my problem is that my world is just, I have this. If I have this and this, that's all that I need, right? But I want to know, like, what would be helpful. And so the idea with this is that it's supposed to kind of like, I kind of designed it so that it would match with the Reg Barber that I have here, so that basically, you could put these in line. Like, this is kind of like if you have a knockbox, like I had, like here, like this would make the most sense. Like if I made it, I'm trying to think about like how small can it be so that people can, so it'll fit. Like if it's too big, you're not going to use it, right? It's going to take up too much space. But this is kind of similar. It's slightly larger dimensionally. It is the same 100. It's 170 millimeters by 140 millimeters, and then 36 millimeters maximum height at the moment. And I don't know. What do you think? I'm interested in what you think. Anton says, I would focus on low profile holders for stuff that I can hang on the wall, like V60 filter holder for the wall. Holders for the wall. But how would you mount? If you were to have something for the wall, how would you want to mount that? Like screws? Ways to maximize efficiency with little space. Gotcha. And the HDev says that I would totally get a tamping stand that is low profile, maybe molded to the corner of a countertop, similar to the silicone ones on Amazon. Oh, I see what you're saying. I don't think people use distributors as much anymore. Oh, good. Naomi says, most tamping mats have you hang the spout off the edge of the table. Do you like that? I mean, do you like hanging it off the edge of the table? I always do. I always did that, right? You see that when we're doing it, I do it, but I never use a tamping. I mean, not that you shouldn't, but I just never do. But that's an interesting idea, maybe like a wood mat or something, like a wood angled edge to hang over. But I imagine that you would not want it to be very thick. Like it should be relatively thin, right? Let's zoom out a little bit more here. So you want it to be relatively thin, and then maybe with the overhang, right? Asian Dev says the issue for me, at least, is space. Yeah. I mean, and that's what I figure with space, right? Like if we have, like that's why I was thinking, like if somebody has like I have this, I already have this. So something that would not, and this is kind of like a defined necessity. Like for example, let me turn this camera on. Like over here, right? Oops, come on. Turn on. It should turn on in a moment. There we go. Like over here, you can see that. Get these cables out of the way. Like here, this is all the space that I have, right? So normally this knockbox resides there. And truth is I never use it, but that's where it lives. And so space is at a minimum. So I was thinking something like that would be a little bit more conducive to that kind of. Oh, don't look at the trash, right? Be more conducive to that kind of thing. Maku says for tamping, you could add a cutout to put a portafilter holder for tamping, like this one. I'm gonna have to. Oh, maybe you put a link. It didn't show the link on it. Let me know what. Just drop the name of the item, and maybe I can look it up afterwards. Oh, a cutout. For the that reminds me my friend Matt had one of those tamping stations that it was a bigger tamping station that had like 2 holes, and then that recession that you're talking about for the portafilter to go into. And then it had a knockbox next to it, but I think that's getting on the larger side. Naomi says, I don't have a spouted one. Oh, okay. Yeah, well, that was more about what I guess that's what more this is kind of geared towards. Like if you have, I wonder where mine went. Oh, here it is. If you have like the naked, that's not much of a problem, right? Well, the angled handle is a bit of a problem. But if you're kind of on the edge, that would not necessarily be a problem, right? Peter says, I've seen cafes now use auto tamping machines. I do like those. The ones with the puck press. You just take like if you got your like your E65, and then you just kind of take it and put in the puck press, and then you can go straight to the machine. I think those are pretty cool. I actually was thinking about buying one a few years ago because I was thinking, you know what if we just like automated as much as we possibly could to make the training process so much easier. Anton says, I like having something that holds the portafilter for me for tamping. Can do better. Okay. That's a good point. And then we say thin is nice. Okay. And Anton says, I actually have a little handmade wood block from Amazon for holding the porta. Oh yeah, like those little things that does it kind of sit in there, so it kind of locks it in place somewhat, so you can kind of hold it like that, so you can tamp. I think that's kind of cool. The thing is that like, to me, I look at some of the stuff that's online and it's fairly inexpensive, right? And I'm looking at them like, I think the type of woods that I would want to use alone are costing as much as some of these items, right? The raw cost is pretty high because it's like, why? Like I can't. And the truth is, it's like if for some of the prices that I see, it's like if I make something like that, I can't match that price. I mean, it just wouldn't be worth the time to do it, right? It's just like it takes time to make something, and time is kind of valuable, and I don't know. So I'm going to play with it a little bit more, but I wanted to show you this kind of where we are at the moment, just to get more feedback. Like, so it shouldn't. So here's something. Right now, 170 millimeters, which is, hey Siri, what is 170 millimeters in inches?
170 millimeters is 6.69 inches.
So 6.69 inches, thank you, is the width. So I'm thinking that perhaps it shouldn't be too much wider than that because, people may not have a lot of counter space. So Marcus says on Amazon, look for a Mancool portafilter holder. Okay, got it. All right. Well, that's kind of the idea. That's kind of the idea at the moment. Now, the way that I'm thinking about executing this, and I don't know if you might be familiar with this, but I'm thinking about like, in this particular instance, I'm thinking about something that's a little bit more stylish, like the lower piece, maybe some kind of really bleached maple with like racing stripes from like Purple Heart with like a Paddock top. So these are kind of contrasting and complementary colors in wood, really, really nice quality woods, really nice hardwoods. Something like that. That's kind of what I'm thinking about at the moment. But what I have to do is work on like figuring out how to get all the cuttings correctly, like, how to bore the holes in the right, like these ended up being too tight together. Like that's, as you can see, it's plywood. And then this one, I don't have a bore the size to fit this. But do you need two spaces, right? Even if people are not using so much if distributors are not popular anymore, I'm presuming rakes are still pretty popular. So you need a place to put your rake. I didn't have a rake, a hole for that. And then here's the thing. So it's like at 170 millimeters, there's only so much you can fit. So for 58, and then this is supposed to, this I was specing it to be 23, but I didn't have a 23 millimeter bit. And I ended up tearing it all out because basically I put this into a metal vise holder, like a big metal vise, but I don't have a clamp to the table on the drill press. And normally I'm using like Forstner bits or Brad Point drill bits, which are a lot better to use. They're cleaner cutting. But the only one that I had close to this size was in what we call a spade bit. And spade bits are really used on like pine, and really used by construction guys when you're trying to bore through 2x4s in a wall, so you can run like piping or electric. It doesn't have to be very clean. It just has to bore quickly. And speed bore, or these spade bits bore very fast, but they don't bore clean. And this one caught, and like I was standing at the machine, and this is a big like hunk of metal. This vise is like a big piece of metal, pretty darn heavy, right? It's probably like 25 pounds or so, maybe 30 pounds. And it caught the wood locked in the vise, and the vise is not locked to the table, right? I'm just sitting on there, just kind of steadying it. And I was kind of concerned for that. So I'm steadying with one hand and pulling it down, and this thing catches and it starts to spin. I was like, oh crap. So I let go of everything and stood back. And luckily I stood back a couple steps, because this thing flew off and actually hit me in the chest. But it was like, it had already decelerated by the time that it made contact with me. It hit me right here. So there's no bruising or anything, but I was like, holy crap, man. So that's one thing I'd be careful with. Like, things can go awry pretty darn fast. And I was really kind of concerned about it, because I was like, I don't really have a way to clamp this down, this vise, so I should be careful. So I was trying to be careful-ish. All right, so Naomi says, too bad I can't share. I know I wish we could share photos. That'd be nice. I mean, you could put it on, you could send me a DM on Instagram with a photo. I could see it there. And then Asian says, consider hinoki. Oh, yeah. I'm a sucker for hinoki wood and buy everything. I will see if if our local, we've got a really great lumber guy. Not in Baltimore, but about an hour and a half away in a place called Coreyville, Pennsylvania, a place called Groff and Groff. And he's got an amazing selection. I don't know if he has hinoki, but I will look that up. There's probably somebody around here that has hinoki. Naomi says, I use the rake funnel distributor tamper. Okay, my rake has its own holder though. Oh, gotcha. And then Anton says, I use shaker, funnel, tamper, and the gun. The gun. I wonder if the gun didn't, like, it looked in the pictures I've seen. Did you get the blue one? Because the blue one looks almost the same dimensionally as the red one that I have. But I'm just wondering, like, I wonder how much, if at all, it has changed in the 30 plus years since I bought that one. Oh, well, anyway. All right, so I guess that's it for today. I'm going to now go to the wood supply house and talk to the masters there about, hey, man, how should I properly bore these kind of boards and get better results? Because, like, I'm using these like hole boring bits, and they're kind of wearing out, and they're kind of like, this was smoking last night. I was like, oh gosh, that looks bad. So yeah, there it is. If you're free tonight, you want to talk more coffee and cigars, come join us on the Ono Live channel, ONOLIVE, for the coffee and cigars live stream starting at 8 p.m. We do a Thursday night hangout with a bunch of guys there. So if you're interested, if not, no, we're back again tomorrow. Anton says, I got the blue one. I bet it barely changed. It didn't look like it did. Definitely, Mom. See you then tonight. Peter, thank you very much. Naomi, Anton, always good to see you. Maku, Dev, Asian, good to see all of you guys. Hope you have a wonderful day or a wonderful evening. And see you next time. Ooh.